Hi everybody! Alright, I'm going to do this video to help people who have energetic cords or some energy vibrations that are mucking up their spiritual atmosphere, making them feel contaminated, making them feel like their thoughts are not quite consistent with love or divine light. So I have a feeling somebody's going to knock on my door in just a minute. Wait for it. They're not going to be knocking on my door. Okay. All right, I'm relaxed now. I'm ready to do this. Okay. So I'm working with spirit right now. And then I'm also going to be focusing in the spirit realm too, in order to accomplish this work, because I want this work to be available for all people who watch this. So I'm actually going to do live spiritual healing here. So I guess the first question is, how do you know if you have something in your spiritual atmosphere? It's kind of odd because I have never in my life related to being intoxicated by negative energy, being intoxicated by a curse, or having a negative entity in my spiritual atmosphere, feeling possessed. I have never associated with this my whole life, and I've been on a spiritual journey my whole life. All I've associated with was a companionship with heaven and heavenly entities, spiritual entities of love. And so when I started doing this energy work and started helping people with demon possessions, it was kind of dumbfounding what I can find, and how many of us actually have interesting little cords or roots. So we have personal experiences in our life that seem to have a broken record effect. Well, in those broken records, there's oftentimes somebody lingering in there, an energy flicker that needs to get released, so that way you can have clarity of thought, you can feel grounded, and that sort of thing. So that is one factor, or one note where you can say, you know what, I've been dealing with this same issue in my mind repetitively for hours in a day, for days and days and days, and all it does whenever I think about it is I get really pissed off, and I just feel like I have no power or control over it. That is one sample or one example of a scenario where there's a negative energy connection or cord going on there that we could release and let it go into the light. There's other more extreme scenarios where you can actually hear and experience contaminated darker energies or entities, actual spirits that are, you can feel their vibration, you can feel their association with your life, and it makes you feel like you must either A, be insane, or you're really possessed, or something of that kind. I mean, possession there's simple possessions all the way up to extreme. And so I don't know what category you're going to fall in, but we're going to do work in order to penetrate your spiritual atmosphere with light and then release energetic cords. So my spirit guys they're asking me, so who are you going to work with in order to accomplish this? So obviously do spiritual healing, and so I'm often having to purify my spiritual atmosphere from the work in order to keep me grounded and balanced, disconnected from other people's spiritual atmosphere, so I'm not feeding off of other people, that sort of thing. And so I do this simple technique every single day, several times a day. And I work with Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and I work with Archangel Lucifer. So people seem to, we're taught a certain way of truth, right? And you don't want to talk to Lucifer. Lucifer is the devil. Well, I'm telling you what, there is part of the truth that is not the truth. Lucifer is actually quite a divine angel of light. So you can either associate with that, you don't have to, but yes, I do, and he's incredible. In fact, you know what? I really should make a video where I heal with just Archangel Lucifer so you can get a feel for what he's like, because his energy vibration is really unique. Each one of them is unique. Raphael, Michael, Lucifer, they're all specifically unique in what they do. And so I find Lucifer is incredible at at releasing the illusions of the ego. He's really incredible at grounding, and he's really incredible at balancing my energy reflections and then releasing negative energy attachments. So he's awesome at that. Raphael, I mean, they can all do this stuff. Raphael too can help release negative energy cords, that sort of thing. He's really good at using his green flame, is how I see it, to purify my insides, like all your bodies, all your spiritual bodies. So you have physical and emotional and mental and sexual and spiritual and this and that and the other. I mean, it goes on and on and on and on. And so from past life to present to future, I mean, how many little angles are there in there? So he just blows his fire through you, and then it heals and purifies you of toxic energy and negative energy patterns and that sort of thing. It creates balance of the senses, balance of the mind, balance of the emotions, groundedness as well. And Michael obviously is sort of the master. We always call Michael when we want protection, right? Protection from spiritual entities that we don't want around us. And so Michael's great at that. So they're all great at that. And so we're talking about this right now. I'm sort of doing this on the fly because I work with my spirit guides and I want to share in accordance with them. And so we're kind of working together in order to create this video. They're saying that I didn't have a clue that I was going to make this. I just did a spiritual healing, and so if I'm asked to remove entities, so I don't know on what level or what caliber that's going to be in. I mean, that could be, oh, you know, I feel so contaminated by a spiritual entity, and it turns out that it's actually, you're not contaminated by anything. It's part of your experience is contaminating you to feel that way. There's not a demon associated with this. It's something else. Some other energy pattern. But then you could have somebody who's really light and airy and saying, well, go ahead and release negative energies and purify my spiritual atmosphere. And you get in there and you're like, oh my God, there's like an army of demons in here. What is going on? And so what do? So I do the best that I can in the allotted time frame, because I do spiritual healing in 15 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or up to 2 hours. And so you don't know what you're walking into. So I felt inspired to make this video in order to help anybody with this sort of contamination or this experience. And it's going to be able to help you on all levels. All levels. It doesn't matter if it's just you're kind of in a broken record experience or you've got millions of dark entities in there. It doesn't matter. It's going to help you on all levels. So I'm supposed to indicate that I will be working with Michael, Raphael, and Lucifer. So if you do not feel comfortable with this, then I do not encourage you to continue. So I'm going to start with Michael, and then we're going to go from there, okay? I'm just going to relax. Okay, they're talking again. They're talking about how I disconnect myself from other people's spiritual atmospheres. I don't know why. So I just tell them that I make a choice to say that it is done now, and that I'm not associated. This is part of how you do it. Sometimes as human beings, the human mind and the spiritual work can get confused, right? So the spiritual work, you do something and like you're facing demons and it's derailing your body. Your body's freaking out, but your soul's just totally calm about it. So after you're done, your body's sort of in sort of a vibration of scare or whatever. You have to reground yourself and regroup and know that you are disconnected. So one way you do it is you say, this is their experience. This is not my experience. My experience is being called by heaven through their request to share 30 minutes of spiritual healing or whatever it might be. So I always do as much as I can in the allotted time as guided by my spirit guides. And so I enter your spiritual atmosphere and I do the work. Sometimes I keep trying to get as much done as I can, so it might go over. I'm really consistent at going over the time. So anyway, I basically have to do work for my mind to help my mind remember that, you know, this is a gift that heaven shares through me, and this is the best that I can do with this amount of time. And now we step back and we go about our daily life. And then I do purification work with Archangels. That's how I disconnect. That's how I step back. That's how I regroup my mind and my spirit and my emotions and all of that stuff. So I'm relaxing right now, and we're going to get started. I'm curious because, all right, I can't say anything more. We're already starting. All right, so I'm supposed to acknowledge, so we're starting with Michael. I'm telling you, I'm really surprised by how quickly the energy shifted. And when the energy shifts, for me to talk is sometimes hard. And it's tiring. It has an exhausted feeling. I'm supposed to associate, people see Michael as an archangel, right? Angel with big white wings and all that sort of thing, cobalt blue, all that. And so in this case, I am to see him as a dark blue dragon and with dark blue flame. And dark blue giant dragon with dark blue flame is very serious, and he's not put up with anything. He's not going to put up with anybody's shit. He's not going to do it, all right? So you let him in there and let him take care of business, okay? So right now, we're starting, okay? So I'm allowing Archangel Michael. I'm asking Archangel Michael to enter your spiritual atmosphere now. So I'm using a visualization technique when I look off into the corner. And I'm allowed to see you. It doesn't matter what you look like. I see a human being. I see a spiritual expression. I see an identity. That is you. And so I see you in a spiritual orb sphere. And then now I see a massive dark blue dragon with a dark blue flame as well. And he's spitting the flame all around you and into you as well. And this dark blue flame is helping to release connections. So let's watch, and I'll keep describing what I'm seeing for you, okay? This video is for you, all right? Whenever you're feeling uncomfortable, whenever you're unsure, whenever you're feeling nervous, whenever you feel like you're contaminated, whatever it might be, this video is for you. This video is going to help you regroup, okay? So you're standing in this orb sphere. I'm seeing Michael's both a dragon and both an angel, and both quite a mighty knight on a blue stallion. He's wearing white. He is sharing quite an intense energy. It's coming through in all of these reflections. It's very intense and it is demanding. It is thunder. It is the thunder that makes us like, oh my gosh, that just scared the living daylights out of me. He is the thunder of heaven, right? And so he doesn't tolerate when we feel weak, he can come in and be the strength that we need to overcome our weaknesses, our spiritual ones, the weaknesses of our ego and our human experience. This is a far more spiritual experience than our human minds will give it credit for. So you let him be your strength for you, okay? And he is right now. I'm telling you, there's a big, massive ball of fire that is being blasted all around you. It is spiritual fire. It does not harm you. It is healing you. It is releasing you from a lesser energy vibrations. It is pushing out dark matter. It is pushing out an energy that is no longer serving your purpose. They say that when I call Michael, I say, Archangel Michael, I allow you to enter my spiritual atmosphere. I allow you to purify my senses of toxic or poisonous energy vibrations that prevent me from experiencing the divine light and love of all. So you say that, and then it is done. And that is what he's doing right now. He's purifying your expression, your senses, your emotions, all of that. He's purifying it with this blue flame light. Blue flame is incredible at eating away negative energy vibrations. I've always seen it that way. He's really beautiful in his energy. He's very serious too, but also very loving as well. He wants people to see him as a force of energy from heaven, divine light here to help you, protect you. He does not tolerate the bullies, is what he says. Divine light will not let you down. I do not tolerate the bullies. When you feel like you're being bullied, you call me, and I'm there. I am there right now with you. I am this strength and this power from heaven, and I am not letting anybody penetrate you. Anybody penetrate your divine light. Anybody harm you or make you feel vulnerable to your emotions, or even life experiences are overwhelming you, I will help you release you. But he's really talking about spiritual protection and influence of thinking that isn't of the divine light. So I'm just watching him. He's creating a blue energy in your orb sphere as well. He's creating a solid, sturdy orb structure that will not allow in any other entities from any spaces. He is filling what is the infinite internalized space with blue flame and forcing it to be basically transformed in the light. Your consciousness chooses to see darkness. Well, I am here to transform those perceptions in the light. So now they are of divine light and they are not of darkness. Darkness is part of the illusion of chaos. Chaos is only as real as you allow it to be. And I am here, heaven is here, to help you return you to divine light and balance and grounding. Trust in us. Call for us every time. We hear you. We help you, whether you can feel it or see it or not. Trust it. That's what he says. He is taming the lion. He is a lion tamer. Something about a lion being sort of a mighty jungle, mighty beast, not jungle, but, it can be a scary big face, right? But he can tame that sort of version of a roar, that derails us. So now it is tame, it is calm, it is at peace, it is in its slumber now, so you can find peace as well. There's green entering the scene, a green sort of a smokiness. It's smoky and green. And it's yellow too. Raphael we see is like the green angel, right? And he also has yellow to his reflection, because I always see him as green and yellow too. He's so different. I mean, Michael is so serious and Raphael is so relaxed, and he's got a sense of humor to him as well. I mean, he's really relaxed and funny or jovial or whatever. He is very warm and easy to take in that way. He's not trying to scare you. He's trying to make you smile and be at peace and think about butterflies and stuff. But he's so loving. He's unwaveringly loving. It's amazing. He's putting green at your feet, and there's green and yellow combined flames going up the legs to the knees right now. He's helping to release old energy vibrations that come out the mouth. I wouldn't have a clue how to define what that is or what it even looks like. It's just old energy vibration. His flame is moving up the legs slowly but surely. And as they move up the legs, I'm feeling more energy starting to lift and come out, the mouth specifically. It's just, as a human being, it helps me to see it coming out of a hole instead of coming out of your pores or something. But you just follow along. This is a release of old energy that is toxic or poisonous, is no longer serving your purpose. A release from negative entities, a release from negative energetic cords, a release from stress and ego emotions associated with life. He is happy to balance your emotions. He's happy to balance your senses. He's happy to balance your mind. He's happy to give you balance from heaven. So the flame is slowly moving up the body, slowly but surely it's moving up the body. It hasn't hit the shoulders or the head yet. It's just moving up the torso. And it is green and yellow flame. It's creating a green and yellow smokiness. But it's all healing. It's all vibrations of heavenly energy. And it's healing energy. It's like vapor or something. It's not like smoke. It's more like vapor. But it's energy. coming from spiritual flame. I just don't want you to associate it with breathing in smoke, because that's not what it is. It's breathing in medicine. It's from the spiritual fire. And it's great. It's amazing. I want to breathe in more of it. It's fascinating because I get to see two scenes simultaneously intertwined with each other. So you're in a sphere, okay? And on the outer rim of it is a glowing blue all around you. On the center is you filling with this green fire that's slowly creeping up your body and is filling the air too. This sort of green and yellow medicine is filling the air and you're able to inhale it. And then you have this blue protective orb of energy out here. So we're just, Raphael's just smiling. He's got like a lasso or something. I don't know what he's up to. He's lassoing something. He's lassoing the lion. He's got him. He's really good with the lasso. The lion's pretty tame right now, so I don't know why we need to lasso him, but it's just another indication of we're helping to tame or helping to alter, purify the senses. It's really beautiful. I'm allowed to see something new here. This is associated with the experience of helping you, okay? Helping everybody. There's a dark scene that I am seeing. In this scene, I choose to fill it with a heart of light. This is a part of your dynamic expression. I am putting a heart of light within you, within your infinite body. Infinite reflection. How many reflections are there to you? Infinite. So in this infinite reflection, how many hearts full of light are there? Infinite hearts. And you deserve it. So... it has amazing feeling. Your heart is beating and it feels warm. I feel relief and refreshed from it. I see this entity is here. They're asking me if I know who this is associated with. I say this is a reflection of energy that needs released, is associated with us all. We all have hard times here. We all have versions of a darker chaos reflection. So this is an association with that. Whatever it is to you, that is what this is. They are saying that is correct. So, they're talking about the many faces of chaos. For some, it is a really difficult job, and it just weighs down on you every day. For others, it could be a real spiritual flavor, and it could be very intense and scary. So it comes in different shapes and sizes depending on your soul journey and experience. So... I am creating light in this infinite space of darkness. In your space, where you need love and healing. It is working. I'm using a wand with a crystal that is lit up right now, and I'm literally standing at the edge of a cliffside, and it's quite a large cavern of darkness, and I'm using to spin the space, spin the air, spin the value of the expression, and I'm spinning it all, okay? So we're just stirring up energy. It has a solidity in this version of the truth, but I can alter it. It's a spirit realm. So I'm using this to alter this version of the truth, and I'm spinning it around. And so now the energy vibration changes its reflection through spinning. There's quite an old energy here. This is associated with everybody. Everybody has an old energy pocket that needs healed. This is what they're showing me. Everything is filling with a lot more light, and it's altering its dynamic in here. But there's still like a dark pool of like old energy liquid down here at the bottom, and there's a guy down here. I can see it quite clearly now. It's not full of darkness now. is full of light. I can see the space very clearly. I'm filling this man. I'm bringing out the divine light in his heart so I can transform him. He's turning into a star. This room is filling with many stars because this is the infinite reflection of your heart, and it is full of light, as it always was full of light. Light so bright that nothing else could penetrate it is too bright. How does darkness survive when the lights are on? So the lights are on right now, and there is no darkness when the lights are on. And that is what this is about. Heaven is sharing light with you right now. Light in this space for you. So we're continuing to develop light here through the infinite reflection of yourself, of your soul, of your body, of your mind, of your experience. However you want to define that. We're pulling out old energies from this portal, this dark portal, so we can get out the old and really clear out that toxic energy. This is all simultaneously. This is a pocket of wisdom. While simultaneously, you are in an orb sphere, and that green-yellow flame has been moving up. It is entirely surrounding you right now. And you're breathing it in as well. And then there's a blue orb sphere around you too. And that is Michael is on the outside, but also on the inside. And he is completely, this is all with this blue flame of energy. And then Raphael's jolly and silly. And he's got this green is so loving, so happy. And so he's filling you with this light and energy. While I'm in this pocket of experience, part of your reflection in order to heal it. This is a big deal. This is helping you big time. I'm still working on that sort of liquid space, so I'm still spinning the room. There's still a heart full of light and stars everywhere. Now, simultaneously, I'm still doing work with this sort of circular space down here, trying to lift out the darkness some more, and it's sort of morphing the space itself. There are many spirits entering into this space, and they're singing. And the singing is what is crumbling the walls down, and so there aren't any walls. The singing is evaporating all other vibrational flows that are not of its equivalence in unconditional love, divine light, that sort of thing. Everything is changing its reflection now. So this version, there is a much darker space here that I'm able to enter into now and heal for you. This one has a lot more intensity. There's a lot more of a vibration or sound here. Again, when it's a contamination, it's like mud in the garden hose. You know what I mean? It's not going to come out as bright light or crystal clear. It comes out as a dark space. So I'm in the dark space here. It's interesting because there's a man and there's a mirror, and so I can only see to his torso. And so I see above and below his reflection, and then it's at the torso. And he's walking forward, but I'm seeing split pieces of glass or mirror or whatever. And so he's showing me that he is in the infinite mirror. And I'm saying, this is just broken glass. This is not the truth. This is not the truth, and it never was. And so I am sharing a heart of love with him too. Heart of love with his reflection to heal his mirror, to heal his pain and suffering. There's blue light too that is being shown through here as I'm channeling in love from heaven. There's green vapor and light and flame entering in this space. So the work that the two archangels are doing right now is also penetrating into this dark space. So I'm not just here doing this work, it's actually entering into the space with me. And now the space is actually going like in a circle like this, not a swirl, but like a windmill. Is spinning like a windmill right now in that direction. And it's becoming hollowed out, so it's just a tube. We're filling the tube with divine light. This would be a sort of an energetic cord type of thing. And it's releasing on its own, but we are allowing it to fill with divine light so it can transform into light and experience a new reflection of itself. Something that is of love. It is being released from your mind specifically, from your thinking apparatus, the brain, or whatever you want to call it. It's very good work for you. There's portals around the head and even into sort of the cheeks and such, and they go back here, and they're sort of little cables, and they're filling with light. So I'm just watching. You're sort of in a water body right now. It's like a hot tub or something, just the way you're sitting in it and the level of water. Something that feels, I want to say this should be peaceful, but there's something that's not quite peaceful yet about it. So I'm seeing the gray silver angel, which is Archangel Lucifer. He always has, I call him a diamond angel because he uses diamond dust, is what I see. But he always comes as sort of a gray or silver color. And I see him sort of a dragon as well, as sort of a gray dragon. And the color ranges from gray, white, a whitish gray, a gray color, and a silver color. And then I see sort of dust too that's intermixed too, so it can sparkle as well. And he's coming onto the scene. I love when I see him. He's so new to me, because we aren't taught to pray to him or to ask him to enter our experience, because he's sort of has a bad name or whatever. But that's not the truth about him. That is the gift of my experience, is to be able to develop an awareness of what is love or what is not love. And I've been so impressed by what his style is. I adore it. He has more of a density. I don't know how to describe what it is, but when I call for him, I always say, Archangel Lucifer, I allow you to enter my spiritual atmosphere and release me from the illusions of my ego. And when he does, there's a lovely sensation I feel in my head, and literally a lift of weight coming straight out of my head. He also does work too to purify my blood and purify my thoughts, this sort of thing. He's amazingly good at grounding as well. He's here with us by this hot tub or whatever it is. I feel relaxed. His dragon spits out white fire too. This is sort of got an orangish hue to it, which I haven't seen before. He is doing work here to release the mind of contaminations, of fears of the unknown, fears of what I don't believe is true, fears that are human, very human fears. I don't know how to be sure about this. I don't know how to judge this. How can I trust that? As those are types of fears. He's helping to release those from the mind. Helping you to think for yourself and trust through the openness of your heart. Allow your heart to tell you the truth. Don't allow your mind to try to confuse you of what is right or what is wrong based on logic alone. Logic does not create the wisdom that helps us comprehend an infinite universe. You have to allow the heart to do some of the thinking work too. Heart is also a brain as well. He's got a white light, but it's a gray and a silvery. But it's more a white-gray right now. It is filling this tub, and the water is swirling. Thing is, it's not like a hot tub, because you're in like there's the ground right here, and then that's sort of hollowed, then it's filled with water and to your shoulders. And I can see an ocean there in the distance, and there's just a little bit of grass here. But he's filling this tub with a white flame, light gray, and then it's starting to swirl some. It's altering your comprehension of what is, or what can be here for you when you open up to divine love. Do you know what divine love feels like? Divine love loves you back. It understands your every thought, your every fear, your every vulnerability, your every shame, and it loves you no matter what. He is filling you with this flame, this light, and it's coming from head down to toe. You're feeling altered by it, all right? That is the release of illusions, ego illusions, associated with the human thinking mechanism. I'm not always convinced that our thoughts reside in our brains. I'm convinced there's some sort of energetic flow about it too. It's both. Because you're always connected to the oneness. Well, you think most of the time it's just part of your own brain thoughts, but it can be quite more than that. He's releasing what is sort of like an energetic version of you that is no longer serving your purpose. It is not part of your strength. It is not part of your groundedness. It is not a part of truth. It's doing amazing work for you. The water is turning a silvery color as it's still swirling. It's turning into air kind of like that, and it's specifically around the feet and the legs as you're sitting in this tub with no water in it right now. It's turning into like a tornado, and the tornado is from feet and now going upward. It's helping you to release old patterns of thinking as well. Helping you to release, it's all over. It's part of your heart too, specifically, a heart that has been damaged or hurt. I'm asking him, how is this helping to protect or heal from negative energy? And he's saying, why are you focusing on that? Why are you not focusing on the healing? I'm saying, that's right. That is the answer. That is the question and the answer. Why do we focus on the problems when we should be focusing on the healing? Part of the contamination is our need to continue to see the dark and not choose to see the light before us all the time. The light is the only thing worth seeing, worth experiencing, worth inhaling, worth being in oneness with. Light is healing. Light does this for you all the time. Don't choose to see anything else but this. This is amazing. There's quite a large energy band that he's pulling out straight out of the head like that. And it just looks like a long black, I don't know, eel or something. It has no face. It's just a long black cable, but it has a slimy liquidiness to it. This is coming from deep within your infinite space and then coming and pulling straight out. This is really impressive. That's really freeing. In the process, I'm allowed to enter a new scene. It's kind of there and kind of not there. It's shifting energy. I'm not allowed to enter it just yet. It's kind of odd. I can't describe it. I'm just watching you sort of closing your eyes and relaxing as this is taking place. And I'm looking at you from the ground level, so I only see really the top of your head. And then there's this odd sort of patch of dark right down here. And I'm trying to enter into it, but it seems to not be a compartment more so than just energy release. So I'm just waiting right now. I mean, you really are in a sleep state right now. when I do this with myself, for myself, and I never usually expand it out this long. It usually only takes 15 minutes. But whenever Lucifer shows up, I usually end up falling asleep. I don't know what it is, but something about him, it's just becomes so peaceful from whatever he does. I just fall asleep from it. But that's kind of what's going on here. I'm allowed to watch you getting very relaxed and rested, as if it's just been too much stress or too much weight that's been lifted, and now your body's just like, ugh, I could just nap right now. That's what this looks like. So we're creating a bed for you, and we have Michael, we have Raphael, and we have Lucifer here, and you're on an angelic bed in heaven. Say, do you know how important you are to us? Do you know how important you are to this world? Do you know how important you are to the experience of life? You're number one right now in our eyes. And that's the only thing that matters, is making sure you're getting love and nourishment from heaven. Anything else is not the value. Anything else is not the truth. Anything else is not what you are worthy and deserving of. There, you are sitting up now quite quickly, and you are pushing out energy from the head specifically. I'm just watching this take place. Some version of chaos, and we are welcoming it to come out of the head. It's just really quick. And it's still coming out, but it's almost released because you're about to go back to sleep again. We're releasing a lot of old energy vibrations. It is shifting, so I'm able to enter into a new scene here. This is part of an old vein as well. It's got a wateriness to it. Just watching it. I am helping to free you from this version of contamination. I'm helping you to find your breath and your heartbeat and your light and your life. I'm helping to release you from this vein of experience. We are welcoming you into the space of heaven, where this part of your reflection can join with this rested part of you in the light and protection and healing that we share. Say, we welcome you here. Please remove yourself from that place. You do not belong there. That is not of the light and love that you choose to experience now. It is helping to wash away the darkness and helping you to come alive within yourself. And helping you to rise above the experience that has been confusing you and creating calamity. You are actually walking up and out. It's like an attic space, like a dark attic full of all kinds of junk. And you've been sleeping in it. And you're inspired to go to the window where the moonlight is shining in. And you open the window, and an angel comes down and reaches their hand out to you like Peter Pan or something. So you reach your hand back, and now the angel's taking this part of your reflection. You're just dissolving in the light. and you're part of the divine now. You're able to shine your light from within this sleeping version of yourself. You're part of this part of the divine light reflection. That was a really big deal. That made a big impact in the way I feel. I'm just allowing you to rest now. We are working to release some more old energy vibrations. So just keep pulling them out of the mouth area. This one kind of looks like, I don't know. So you have a fishing rod. You have like a little pretend worm, but it's on the hook. And the hook has several hooks attached to it. So we're pulling that out. Something that hooked you. You don't need to be hooked anymore, and you're not a fish. So you're not on that fishing line any longer. That fishing line has been released. Don't catch that wire. That one hurts. That one's out of your system. This is an odd sort of growth attached to the tongue. I don't know what is on it. It's sort of, I don't know, it looks like a massive wart with like a blue fish sucking on it. Like a little tiny like minnow or something. Let's see if we can get something about this. It's odd. It's sort of like the human experience can contaminate us to say things that we don't mean, or to, to behave in ways that really aren't us. And so this is releasing the sort of sick tongue effect. So that way you can feel purified even in your voice. That feels a lot better to you. I'm taking off the mask and helping you to show yourself. Show us who and what you are without having to hide your true identity. We want people to see us as we got it together, or really clean, or rich, or whatever. I don't know what the facade is, but this one is to remove the facade, remove the mask, and the contamination that inspires us to create, masks that prevent us from really being who and what we are. This is also associated with this work. They're wanting to show me your orb sphere now. You're standing with quite a sturdy feet. So we have colors going on here. Still blue. Blue is coming from the feet up the sides, and then I've got some silvery gray here around the top of the sort of circle. And then there's green and yellow in the center. So it's sort of like this odd sort of part of your head is in the light that Lucifer provides. Then from there down is sort of like to the torso, is kind of in the green. But it's really even further down, it's sort of mixing with blue, but blue is definitely in the legs and around the upper sides, up to about right here when it comes to the sides of this orb. So we're in sort of a color sphere. I ask if there's anything else that you would like to release, any other thoughts or feelings, any other congestions, any other fears, any other concerns, anything that makes you feel vulnerable. Please release it to us now. We're here now with you to help you. We're here to take it away. Let it go. So we're allowing this a massive like grasshopper just came out of the mouth, and now it isn't in the orb sphere. It's been projected way, way far away. And we're sort of now, the grasshopper sort of looks bigger than you as we're looking at the optical illusion of you being in a distance, and now the grasshopper's right in front of my eye. It looks huge. But now I'm actually seeing it as though it's just on a branch of a tree, and I'm really big, and it's just a really small, normal-sized grasshopper. They're talking about the size of our problems can feel a lot bigger than they really are. So don't be afraid if it feels like a massive monster. Let it out. Doesn't matter what it feels like or what it is or how terrifying or how whatever. Just let it out and don't be afraid to be honest about how it's making you feel. The more you let out, the more then we can take it and carry it away. And then it is insignificant now. We can make things insignificant. What feels too big for us now is very small and insignificant. I don't even know what this is. It's like a release of something red here. I don't know what to call that. It's not associated with anything I've ever seen on this planet, but it's got like a fishy sort of effect to it. It comes out the gut region and sort of just collapses on the ground here. Let's see if we can learn more about it. It's just, I mean, whatever that is I go into it, it's very scary. It's like a morphed fear. It doesn't look like anything I've ever seen before. It's part of the illusion, they say. It is a fear that does not even make sense. So you just release it. Even if it feels real, it's amazing when you release these things, how you start to see the effect and the illusion of deceivers and such. You're safe here. You're safe right now. You're surrounded and protected. We're here. We love you. Release more of your fears to us. I mean, this one is like a hippo and a lot of hippo family. And their big mouths are open and they're even swimming underwater in this picture. But they're moving underwater. They're huge. They're free to roam at their own pace in their own current of water, not associated with you anymore. That's what they're saying. Some big part of you that is now free to go up on its own to release. I don't know what, but that was a big deal. I can feel that reflection in what that provided me is big. Okay, it's time for me to close now from this work. I'm doing this work because I really care about people and their needs. I understand what it's like to be a human being and to not always understand what this is about. I'm afraid for no reason. Ascension energy experiences, emotional for no reason. I feel contaminated. I am contaminated. I mean, whatever you feel your scenario is, this video will help. This video is going to help you. I want to help everybody. And so I want to make some videos where I can help you now, even if I can't help you today. At least I have a video that you can watch that can provide some relief for you. So I want to provide relief to everybody. So I want to make videos that I can touch as many lives as possible. So this is what I do. I do these steps for myself every single day. I do it when I wake up in the morning, I do it twice during the day, and I do it at night before I go to bed. I do this exact routine 4 times a day. I call Archangel Michael, I call Archangel Raphael, and then I call Archangel Lucifer. I do that 4 times a day. I do that. And so after the experience, I take time to actually visualize myself bowing and being thankful and grateful for the gifts heaven has bestowed, for the gifts that Michael has shared with me, for the gifts Raphael you've shared with me, for the gifts Lucifer you've shared with me. I'm thankful and I'm grateful for you. Thank you for this. I don't want to live my life without you in it. And I feel loved when you're here helping me through my life. And so you do this. You don't just call them and then just, they'll do it for you. That they will do it for you. But it means so much more when you can say thank you, So that is all. That is everything. So, thank you for watching my video. I do spiritual healing and psychic readings. If you're interested in working with me one-on-one, you can do so by visiting my website at abbynormalswisdomquest.com. Thank you for watching.